Kim Jong Un is said to observe an air combat drill Tuesday in this photo released Wednesday by the Korean Central News Agency. Photo, KNS/Agence France Presse/Getty Images by Timothy W. Martin and Timothy W. Martin. The Wall Street Journal biography at Timothy Martin. Timothy Martin at WSJ.com. Daslun. The Wall Street Journal biography updated April 17, 2019, 9:46 p.m. ET Seoul, North Korea test-fired a new type of tactical guided weapon at different targets, marking an event of very weighty significance, the country's state media reported, as the Kim regime signals a firmer stance toward the U.S., following the breakdown of denuclearization talks. Leader Kim Jong-un supervised and guided the tactical weapon's performance from an observation post on Wednesday, deeming that its flight and warhead load were perfectly verified, the North's state media said early Thursday. Pyongyang didn't provide further details of the weapon's nature. The test is the first of a tactical weapon since November 2018, according to Pyongyang state media. The regime hasn't launched a missile since November 2017, a fact that the Trump administration has pointed to as a sign that its diplomacy with the isolated regime has been successful. The Pentagon declined to comment, while an official at the White House said it was aware of the report but had no further comment. A separate U.S. official said the test weapon didn't appear to be a ballistic missile. Missile experts say that suggests the tested weapon is of short-range capability. Since Mr. Kim rose to power in late 2011, North Korea has launched more than 80 missiles and conducted 4 nuclear tests, according to Defense Priorities, a Washington-based think tank. Like those before it, this latest test does not threaten the United States, said Benjamin H. Friedman, a policy director at Defense Priorities. North Korea's leadership knows that attacking the United States would be suicide. Before Wednesday, the North's most recent weapons test came about 5 months ago during a time of uncertainty in the diplomatic process. Pyongyang had just cancelled an early November meeting in New York with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. But in the ensuing weeks, Mr. Kim provided a diplomatic opening in his annual New Year's Day speech, saying he would meet President Trump at any time. Those remarks set in motion plans for February's Trump-Kim summit in Hanoi, where the no-deal outcome has left Pyongyang irritated. The North's weapons test on Wednesday is a low-level provocation tactic of raising the stakes and playing hard to get for short-term gains, said Lee Sung-yoon, a Korea expert at Tufts University's Fletcher School. A day earlier, Mr. Kim visited an Air Force unit where he instructed pilots to take off and perform difficult and complicated air combat actions, state media said. Mr. Kim left having expressed great satisfaction over the excellent readiness, the report said. It was his first visit to a military site in 5 months. Security analysts saw Mr. Kim's visit to the Air Force unit as a message to the Trump administration: unless Washington is prepared to compromise on sanctions, Pyongyang can revert to a cycle of confrontation. The North Korean leader said last week that the U.S. had until year's end to change its stance in nuclear talks or risk a gloomy and very dangerous response. Kim Jong-un doesn't make meaningless visits, said Moon Sung-mook, a retired South Korean Army brigadier general and an analyst for the Korea Research Institute for National Strategy, a private think tank in Seoul. He's sending a message internationally that we are ready militarily, and domestically that we need to be thoroughly prepared. Washington and Pyongyang remain gridlocked over how the North should relinquish its nuclear arsenal. Though the two countries' leaders affirmed their close personal ties in recent days, the Kim regime has expressed frustration, if not astonishment, over U.S. demands for specific commitments on Pyongyang's denuclearization. The North, despite prior pledges to the US and South Korea, has continued advancing its nuclear program, according to researchers and think tanks monitoring Pyongyang's weapons program. In recent months, the North's apparent activities included restoring a missile site it previously claimed to have dismantled and continuing to operate facilities that make plutonium and highly enriched uranium. New evidence suggesting nuclear pursuits came Tuesday, when researchers at the Center for Strategic and International Studies in Washington, using satellite imagery, identified 5 specialized rail cars inside Pyongyang's main Yongbyon nuclear facility. The railcars were near a uranium enrichment facility and radiochemistry lab. The North has previously used railcars for the movement of radioactive material or reprocessing campaigns, the chief said. The configuration and existence of the railcars suggests their involvement in the transportation of radioactive material, according to Chi's report. Co-authors Joseph Bermudez and Victor Cha. Mr. Kim, who has pledged to revitalize the North's economy, needs sanctions relief to accomplish that goal but has few levers to pull as nuclear talks hit an impasse, according to security analysts. Kim is reminding us, in a general way, that unless the Trump administration is prepared to move forward, then he has military options to up the ante, said Ewan Graham, a North Korea security expert at Australia's La Trobe University. About 2/5 of North Korea's 810 combat aircraft are stationed near Pyongyang, according to South Korean Defense Ministry estimates. The unit is tasked with helping defend airspace over the capital, according to North Korea.